On the cusp of extinction, the crew aboard an interstellar arc to New Earth must outwit a malevolent terror intent on using the spaceship as a weapon. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Breach. This is a 2020 movie, and it stars Bruce Willis, if you can say stars at all. Basically, Earth is on the brink of extinction, and they are sending spaceships to a new Earth, they call it. It's basically another colony on a planet, so that way people can have a chance to live, and they're only taking people who have papers. So, like, I guess each ship can hold like 300,000 people, and there's a rebellion. You can see like writing on the walls as we open up the movie, where it says "Long live the rebellion," and basically the rebellion wants to stop humans from colonizing other planets because they think human beings have had their chance and they need to go extinct. Because there's like basically an extinction level event that's happening on Earth, and it doesn't explain what it is or anything like that, and why they're only taking certain people. But I don't even know if there's any governments left. This is basically kind of run just by military type people. And we see a couple, Haley and Noah, trying to get to the last ship leaving Earth. I believe it's called the Hercules. And, they're trying to get through a huge crowd. And this huge crowd is trying to break these fences down to get into, to get aboard the ship so they can get, they can leave Earth so they don't die, and Haley and Noah both get on the ship, and we end up finding out Haley's dad is the admiral of the ship, and I thought that was crazy. I was like, oh, okay, that's why she had papers to get on, and I guess it's like 180 days before they reach New Earth, and they go into some kind of a hyperspace jump, they call it, but time moves differently. So, according to, I don't know if it's Bruce Willis's character or who it is, but he's explaining to Noah that because it's his first jump, that it's been 30 years since they've left Earth. So, I don't know how that really makes much sense, but, I mean, I guess anything's possible. And, this is where, like, once they hit the halfway mark, this is kind of where things start to go wrong. We see a parasite crawl into a beer bottle, and a guy ends up drinking the rest of his beer, and then they start spreading the parasites around to other people, so it infects more and more people as they go along. And basically Clay, which is Bruce Willis's character, and like 4 other people have to fight these creatures and wake up the Admiral before they reach New Earth, so they can try to stop all these, all these parasites from spreading. And they try to make a plan to stop them, but this is kind of where the plan goes wrong again, and they end up having, they wake up the Admiral, whole bunch of stuff happens, and then the ship speeds up to the point where they're going to reach Earth in just a matter of like a few days, at the New Earth. And it's like, if they could have done that before, why would it take like 180 days? I'm like, what? So like some of this movie doesn't really make sense. There's some crazy stuff that happens in it. And they keep going along, and Haley and Noah end up running from a big giant creature that is just awful looking. Like, the CGI in this, the creatures are awful looking. People get like tentacle like tongues that they keep sticking out to infect other people. It's really kind of, I don't know, it's really kind of weird. Haley and Noah get into a escape pod. And they end up leaving the ship, and, because they're ejected out the front of the ship, they go super fast, so they get to Earth, New Earth, way faster than the regular ship. But, this is kind of where Bruce Willis comes on the intercoms and talks to him, and he says his farewell to him, and then takes the ship off course. So the ship can't reach New Earth, and he smashes all the controls for this, and the movie basically ends where Haley and Noah land on New Earth, and they end up finding out that it's not the paradise everybody talked about. I mean, I really don't want to spoil too much of this movie, but I really don't think people should be watching this. It's really bad. It's really bad. But there's a big giant alien in the atmosphere. You can see it's huge, and it's like miles away, and like New Earth has been overrun with these parasites. So they're like, let's just burn it all. And I'm just like, wait, what? Yeah, this movie was just bad. The CGI, again, was bad. The creatures looked bad. This is basically inspired by The Thing, and it fell flat. I thought this was going to be just a cheesy B movie, and it wasn't. I will say, though, that the set design wasn't bad. It's like they took like a bunch of milk crates and kind of turned them upside down and stacked them, and then they painted them up and added like different effects on them to make hallways and to make like walls and things like that. So I thought that was actually kind of good, and it was smart because it keeps for a low budget, which I don't know how much of a budget this movie had, but it was not. I don't know. It wasn't good enough for anything else. The guns looked bad. Like again, just other than the set design, like all that stuff was bad. The music was bad. I don't even really remember like hardly any parts with music in it. It was bad. The acting was bad as well. If you guys understand, there's a theme going on here. Honestly, Bruce Willis really needs to get a new agent because I think he's getting these roles that he doesn't have like anything to work with. Like these characters didn't have hardly any substance to them. Like I don't even think they had any substance to them. They just were like, here's your character's name, here's what they're supposed to do, have fun at it. I mean, he didn't act well in this. Again, like his Die Hard acting is way better than like the movies I've been reviewing with him in there. Like this movie's about as bad as Hard Kill. I think it's maybe a little worse. I thought this might be kind of a cool, B sci-fi movie, but I've seen better B movies on sci-fi itself. I mean, and those movies are generally not good, and it's like, what? I think either Bruce Willis is just trying to get a payday, or he needs to get a new agent because he needs way better roles because he's a better actor than this. And the rest of the people, there's not even really anything to say about them because their acting wasn't good. None of it was good. This movie isn't even a B movie, to be honest with you. It takes itself way too seriously. In my opinion, it doesn't make a lot of sense in parts of it, especially for their interstellar travel, what the aliens are. Apparently, they try to say that they brought them back, so they did experiments with something they found on Earth or something, and all it knows how to do is assimilate people, kill people, kind of like the Borg, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have a mind, even though they do apparently in one part say that it is getting smarter and stuff. So it's like, wait, what? And yeah, it's just a bad movie all around. I mean, I've seen worse movies. Don't get me wrong. This is just a really bad movie. I would give this. Honestly, I hope they don't make a sequel. They ended it kind of like they were going to make they might make a sequel to it, and I hope not. This is not a good movie. I would give this at least a 3.5, a 4 out of 10, at the very most, and it might be a straight just 3.5 out of 10, but I don't know. This movie might appeal to some people. I'm not gonna discourage anybody from watching it too much. Honestly, it's an hour and a half movie, and I kind of wish I had that time back. But this might appeal to some people. I have some friends who might actually think this was good, but I didn't enjoy it. I mean, there was some parts that were boring as well, and it just like the effects, the aliens, it looked bad. I mean, I've seen '80s movies that looked way better than this, with all their effects. So if you want to watch it, go for it. If you don't. This is basically a spoiler review. I've told you almost everything that happens in the movie. Uh, but if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. Take care for now, everybody.